Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to remind everybody to check out our affiliates at Hairy Tarantula and TCG Player. And you can help support the channel by following on social or becoming a patron. Links to each of these are in the description. Let's take a look at what's in the workshop today. Premium patron Matt Oakes writes, "This patron of the Kitsune deck goes wide with tokens that will hopefully trigger my commander's ability and use life gain as a win con, as seen in some of your other videos. I also want to control the board with wipes and targeted removal until I'm ready to reach critical mass. First, Matt, thank you for supporting the channel. It's thanks to patrons and supporters like you that I'm able to keep doing this each and every week. Patron of the Kitsune is a rare tribe-centric commander that looks to take advantage of foxes. There aren't a lot of foxes in Magic in general, so it's interesting to see some seldom played cards show up in a list like this. The Patron themselves are a 6-mana 5/6 with Fox offering, allowing us to cast them at instant speed for a cost reduction if we sacrifice a fox first. Once in play, the Patron gains us 1 life whenever a creature attacks, not just our own creatures, but any creature. This way we can be gaining life off of swings at other opponents and potentially opening up some very political leanings. Attack them, and we both benefit. So if your goal is to win via life gain, you've certainly got some of the pieces in here to do it. You've got the Heliod's Suncrowned and Walking Ballista combo that can allow you to go infinite on just 2 cards by giving Ballista lifelink with Heliod's Trigger to put more counters on it whenever you remove a counter from it. And you've got Felidar Sovereign in the list too, which is quick and easy and one of the only ways to win strictly from life gain. Let's not forget about Aetherflux Reservoir, which will let us charge our lasers and pew-pew down opponents once we get our life totals to triple digits. You're leaning very heavily into Fox tribal elements as well to make sure you can offering out your commander, which is very cool. Lots of seldom used creatures in the list like Arctic Foxes or Devilthorn Fox, and all of the Kitsune from Kamigawa. Really great to see these cards show up in a uniquely tribal list. There are a lot of little synergies in here. Life gains, tokens, Fox Tribal, which may be good but can lead to us feeling like we're playing 3 different strategies at once. For instance, we want to go wide, but nothing that we're going wide with plays into our other strategies. We aren't creating a volume of foxes, for instance, and we have nothing that makes those foxes bigger or better. Sure, we gain life the more creatures we have and attack with, but does that play into our strategy, and can that ignore our tribal aspects? And is the tribal aspect forcing us to play creatures that don't point towards our goal just for the sake of being tribal? I'm all for making a deck that you want to make, but when we mix strategies, we don't always end up with chocolate and peanut butter. Sometimes we end up with strawberry and mustard. For instance, we've got Divine Visitation in the list. Great for turning resources that make small tokens into big evasive tokens. But you don't have a lot of token generators in the deck. There's Regna the Redeemed and Call the Coppercoats and Oketra's Monument. They make use of Visitation, but apart from that, there's Crested Sunmare, which already makes 5/5 indestructible tokens. Anointed Procession can be assessed the same way. You've got maybe 4 ways to make tokens in the entire deck. Why have 2 additional token synergies in the list at all? Having 2% of the cards in your deck synergize with 4% of the cards in your deck is going to leave you with pieces that do nothing in some instances. If we eliminate these instances of that happening, we increase the consistency of our deck and can ensure it's always going to do something towards our end goal. It makes top decking much less stressful and lets us recover from board wipes, even our own board wipes, a lot easier. Let's ratchet up just the life gain and life gain synergies. We'll drop the token strategy and focus on ways to gain resources while we gain resources. It's not that token strategies aren't good, but there's not enough in your existing list to matter. Instead, let's focus on how life gain can get you further ahead. The new Cosmos Elixir out of Kaldheim, for instance, is a perfect example. As long as you have 41 life, you draw a card at the beginning of your end step. It's like a forever monarch ability. And in a white deck where we can assure we're going to be gaining a lot of life, this is a big resource gain. Angelic Accord is another way to get more resources, in this case bodies, for doing nothing but gaining life. At the end of each end step, not just yours, if you gained 4 or more life, you make a 4/4 Flying Angel. And when your commander and other effects gain you life for actions your opponents can't skip taking, like attacking or having creatures enter the battlefield, this is likely to be every turn. Then we have our life gain doublers. These are synergy pieces that play with your deck's main theme and make everything happen better. In particular, Rock's Faith Mender and Boon Reflection can be inclusions in the deck to do what you're doing better. Getting that benefit ramped up can help you make a lot of your synergies that much more effective. And I want to ensure you're maximizing your opportunities to win with life gain. There are 2 life gain as a win con cards you've neglected in your original list. We'll talk about one in the upgrades, but you should be including Angel of Destiny. This is a tricky looking card, but all you need to know is that it says, each player Angel of Destiny attack this turn loses the game. Yes, you need to have 55 life for that to happen. For this trigger, in this deck, you'll almost always meet that condition. This is a free win con on a stick that can take your opponents out one by one. Lastly, I want to make a recommendation to pivot your commander. The Fox Tribal theme is unique and fun and definitely speaks to your own personal style. But if you're looking to adapt the deck to a more streamlined white focus, you may want to look at Linden Steadfast Queen. She's a heavy mono-white investment, but ensures you can control your life gain, don't need to sacrifice resources to cast her, and ensure you don't need to include some less than ideal creatures in your list. If you want to lean heavier into the tokens aspect, this is a change that I would recommend. Now, for upgrades, there's a big one I think you should look at seriously. Test of Endurance. This is an alternate win con enchantment that functions similarly to Felidar Sovereign. As long as you have 50 or more life at the beginning of your upkeep, you win. That's huge because Test of Endurance is far harder to remove than Sovereign, and meeting this criteria in this deck is simple. The next upgrade I'd recommend is around card draw. We've received a few colorless card draw options recently like Endless Atlas and Tome of Legends that are excellent ways to improve even White's advantage engines. They're all a couple of bucks, but all worth considering. So here is our updated list. We've removed the token synergies, but left some of the token creators in the list. Basically, we want to remove cards where there's a risk of them not doing anything, and replace them with cards that will always do something, since you're always gaining life. In the end, this is a unique take on mono white with a unique tribe. Interested in seeing if we'll get any more tricks for it in upcoming sets. Be sure to let us know in the comments how you've changed your deck, Matt, and thanks for choosing to support the channel. For everyone else, let us know in the comments how you would continue to improve this list. Until next time, folks, good luck and have fun. As always, a huge shout out to our patrons, without whom I wouldn't be able to keep doing this. A special shout out to our Lodestone Golems, Ben Frayne, Sterling Langford, Will Briggs, Ben Davis, David Norrie, Corey Whitaker, and Snipes, and our Metalwork Colossi, Austin Charlotte, Charles Olson, Matthew Chandler, Ben Shackelford, Pulsating Kiwi, Jim, Raphael Lum, Wyatt M, Timothy Conan, Matt Oakes, and Stephen Dunn. Thank you, everyone!